everybody. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Oh yeah. You guys ready? Are you guys ready for today? Welcome to another day of the 11/11 Pure Energy Chef Show with Steve Factor. We got romaine because it's insane. We got nori because it's the story. We got cashew. I don't have a rhyme for that one. And we got lemons, we got date, we have garlic, olive oil, apple cider vinegar, black pepper, salt, sea salt, mustard powder, ding, nutritional yeast, and some kale crunch chips, and some H2O, and some capers, and a few little cute cherry tomatoes. Shoo. Oh yeah, it's on. We are about to make the salad of salads. This salad has traveled far and wide across the world, and it has been unanimously stated that this is the greatest Caesar salad ever to hit the Caesar salad world in the history of human beings. Are you guys ready for this? Okay, so instead of like the mayonnaise and the eggs, we're gonna get on the cashew and the water. Instead of the anchovy, we're gonna get on the caper and the nori. We're gonna put in some spices too, a little bit of this and that, little simple ones. And then it is going to be on, like King Kong. Okay, so first thing we wanna do is this. Before I do the dressing, I wanna get you guys doing a little bit of cutting here, okay? So I'm gonna move these aside here so you guys can see a little bit of these knife techniques. The knife techniques, okay? So again, Iris from Matthew Kenny Culinary Academy, she's coming here this week, at the end of the week, and next week you're gonna see her, you're gonna hear a lot about her. She's the one that taught me at Matthew Kenny Culinary Academy. I have a lot of teachers. And so, I mean, Matthew Kenny Culinary Academy and Iris, and the month I stayed there, amazing. Oh, I love these so much. I'm gonna set these aside right over here. Okay, get those here. Okay, so check this out. Nori's a story. We're gonna set this over here, here, set this over here. Now, with romaine. First, I want to tell you guys a little story about romaine and why romaine is so flippin' insane. Okay, this is it. Romaine. It is one of the highest, if not the highest, essential fatty acid leaves there are. It's up there. It's about 20% fat. People are like, what? This has fat in it? Uh-oh, maybe I want to stay with it, away from it. No. You don't want to stay away from these kinds of fat. These are the great kind of fats for us. And yes, there is fat in romaine. It's what makes it insane. A little story about romaine. So when I was new to this whole raw food thing, like about 10 years ago, I got into it through the natural hygienic door. I got to read books. Paul Bragg was the first one I read. And then I got introduced to Dr. Morse. And if you know both of their teachings, very hygienic, natural hygiene, very much into the simplicity And Dr. Morse also adds some herbs and gets into that, which the natural hygienists are against. But the foundation and the base is natural hygiene. What is natural hygiene? Some will say very close to 80-10-10. 80-10-10 is a big deal out there, or at least it was about 5 years ago, people getting on it. But now it's really just about getting the hydration as the key. And natural hygiene is going to be one ingredient. If you can eat that one ingredient as a whole meal by itself and be okay with that, then that's an ingredient you should have on your menu in the natural hygiene world. And so, for instance, you wouldn't have like garlic, you wouldn't have salt or apple cider vinegar or black pepper, nutritional yeast, none of that stuff. You wouldn't have that in the natural hygiene world because you would never have one of those things as an entire meal. Although I have snacked on garlic in my life. If you like garlic, like I like garlic, I mean, the king of herbs. I mean, this is it. Like, you have parasites, go have that. They're not going to hang out with you for too long. And by the way, with garlic, like, we don't even need it to be organic. And I mean, but they're spraying at stuff that's not organic, but it doesn't even need to be. No pest is coming near garlic. Those insects or anything, like, they're not getting to the garlic. They're like, whoa, that's some hot stuff there. We're staying away from that. So when you get into cleaner and cleaner and higher levels of living, and you go up the proverbial mountain that Dr. Morse coined so well, and that I use often, top of the mountain, baby, you're not going to be in the garlics, you're not going to be in the salts, you're not going to be in that. You're going to be in the natural hygiene. So back to the story of when I was new, I was very natural hygiene. I was like eating like one thing at a time, or sometimes I'd have a smoothie with 3 things. I remember reading in Dr. Morse's book, he said 5 things or less is a good thing to have at the most. The most amount of ingredients is like 5. And I was like, okay, I'm going to be like 5, 4, 3, whatever, a lot of times 1. And I would get into this clean way of eating, and what happens when that happens is that we really start to move our lymphatic system. We really start to clear out our vessel, and we we let the flow flow. We don't create the flow. The flow is already there. And the energy that's going through all of us right this very second is more than any of us can fathom. And what I help people do, people are always like, can we have more energy, Steve? Like, there's no more energy to have. What I help people help themselves do is remove the obstructions that are blocking that energy. This is a great way to like remove obstructions. You get in, I mean, and you go to the top of the mountain, you're going to be in the lemon world, lemon and grapes, dark grapes, as like removal of obstructions. And so when we start to get into this more and more, we're going to see that less is more. Less is more. And as less is more, we actually appreciate more. There is such a thing as gratitude. We have more gratitude. Imagine more gratitude. So I'm at this party, and it was like an 80-10-10 party. All the people there, this was in Marina del Rey. This was actually, some of you may know Brian Wendell, okay? He produced Forks Over Knives. So I'm at this party over there, and there's about 8 of us. Grant Campbell's there. Steph is there. Who else is there? A couple other people were there. And a lot of people haven't seen each other in a while. And I was like, oh, I want to come to this party. I'm new to this world. And they're like, come on, Steve. Come on down. So I started to, we had an 80-10-10 party. And I'm like, whoa, let's see what this is about. I read the book, and I'm like, I understand, the principles of it, the low fat and the high on the fruit. And so, and that was pretty much what I was doing. And what happened? We had dinner. Okay, so dinner was like this. The first thing we had, they passed around blueberries, and we all just got into the blueberries. We just ate blueberries. And then the next course was served, and it had 2 things this time. It had tomatoes. I don't believe it was these tomatoes. I believe it was heirlooms, and Brian's a really good shopper and like picked the best ones. And then there were also, I believe, oranges at the time, and he had amazing oranges, and possibly, and then the third one was mango. I think we just had mango, or mango was part of it, okay? Then the 4th course comes. And this is where I was like, this is different. The fourth course came. This was the fourth course. They're like, would you like something? And I'm like, no, I'm okay. Do you have any dressing? And they're like, no. And I'm like, no, I'll pass on it. And they're like, are you sure? And I'm like, yeah, I'm sure. So I just went back to the blueberries and the tomatoes and the oranges, and I was just getting into those, and everyone's like eating the romaine. And then I said, okay, let me have some. Let me try some. And then this happened. And what this is right now is like, that is damn good. This, when you clean out your vessel, this is like potato chips. I said, can I have some more? I started going to town on romaine. I was just eating romaine. I probably had about 2 heads of romaine, which is like 2 bags of potato chips. And I was just eating them. I was like, man, this is salty. You know, I talk about sugar, salt, and fat. Here's just salt. This is some serious salt here. These are the good salts, the good fats. Romaine is flippin' insane. And here's how you cut romaine. Now I learned this from the skin glow goddess Ava Gaiahart, okay? So she's taught me so much as well. She's culinary flippin' genius. Okay, and we go here. I'm gonna put these aside right here. I'm gonna put you right here. Okay, now check this out. The romaine heart comes like this, typically. And what we do is keep this here for now, okay? Don't cut this off right now. First, cut off this. Holding a knife is how you choose a knife. It wants to balance, okay? We want it to be straight like that. I'm gonna hold the knife here and hold the knife here. I'm gonna cut off the tops, typically, of the romaine. And I'll either eat these myself, but if I was doing gourmet, I wouldn't have the tops. They're not as beautiful looking as the bottoms, okay? So we're gonna set that aside here. But check this out now. Keeping this intact, we're gonna cut it like this. This is an Ava Gaiahart secret. It's not so secret, but she definitely has taught me so much. And so many people, I mean, like this Saturday, I'm going to Ron Russell's cooking class at Sun Cafe. It's gonna be at Saturday morning, 9 a.m. If you guys are thinking of going, I would get there early. This is the first one of the year. First, everyone is on their high horse right now. Everyone is starting to say, like, we're gonna do it. It's January. It's time to do this. And the class is standing room only. It'll get like that. Okay, so get there early. And I'm going tonight at Dawn's. I'm teaching a class there at Pure Press Juice, Westwood, Olympic and Westwood Boulevard. Tonight at 6 p.m. 33 bones, baby. But guess what? Tonight's the first night. We're letting people in free tonight. Like, this is like last minute stuff. We're like trying to get this together. We're getting it together. We're not trying. Yoda taught us not to try. Okay, so you see how I did this, right? This saves a lot of time because then it's kind of still together, and then I can kind of do this. And if you remember me talking about yesterday, a sharp knife is safer than a dull knife. And we want this bear claw here. So I got my, see that here? I want to be able to knock those aside, that knife, and feel it so it doesn't feel my fingers. This is a sharp knife. Okay, and then I'll chop this part off here and maybe do a couple more chops here. I'm just gonna do this. And I did not wash the romaine. Isn't that insane? I could even see little speckles of dirt on it. Yum. This is the earth. I don't understand why earth is such a thing like people like get away from. There's little speckles of dirt on this. This is perfect. Now, if there's a lot of earth, I'll wash my produce, but I haven't ever really washed it in like 10 years. Like if there's a chunk of something, like a lot of earth, I'm like, I don't want that much earth, but just a little bit here and there, get your earth on. There's vitamin B12 in the earth. This is what I'm talking about. Like, we're trying to like always, we're like in a plastic bubble, so many of us. We like try to live in like the whole germ theory, like germs. I remember going to farmer's market one time, okay? This was like back in my natural hygiene days. I say back in my natural hygiene like it was so long ago, but like the thing is I do natural hygiene. I do top of the mountain. I do like the highest ends of cleansing on the Pure Energy Cleanse. And we have the base of the mountain cleanse, like this stuff too. So we have both. So I'm in like two raw worlds. A lot of people say, Steve, what world are you in? Are you a fruitarian? Steve, are you an 80-10-10er? Steve, are you a superfooder? Are you a sprouter? Are you a wheatgrasser? Are you a grainer, sprouted grainer? Are you a fat? Are you into essential fat? Like, where do you stand in this whole raw world? And like, whose side are you on? And I'm like, I'm on everyone's side. Every one of them is great. Everyone has something to offer. And there's different times of our lives we might be on this or that or the other. You know, this whole box thing of like, I am a this and you are a that, that's just like egoic, limiting stuff. We want to get away from the stuff. Let's have more fruits and vegetables. We were at Whole Foods one time. I was teaching a class there. People were like, vegetables are the way to go. And others, the other half of the room almost, it seemed like, no, fruit is the way to go. And the others were like, no, it's vegetable. And I said, everybody stop. Isn't this great? Like we're all arguing about, is it fruits or vegetables? At least we gone up to a level in our argument, not like, where do you get your protein argument anymore? You guys know that, right? That like the whole protein myth, like we're talking all essential amino acids are in here. All essential amino acids are in here. Like all of them. I used to have so much fun with the protein people. Where are the protein people? You guys still, you getting those powders? Like if protein, like everyone's like, we gotta have this many grams. No, we gotta have this many grams. Actually, this is the ideal grams. No, you guys don't understand. Do you know, like the gorilla doesn't know one thing about a gram? And the gorilla is like a beast. Oh, look at this beautiful. Look at this beautiful lettuce. Let us begin the next component. So about 2 hearts is what I will eat for dinner. When I was doing a lot of basketball and a lot more athletic, I would be doing 3 to 4 hearts for dinner. So you imagine a bowl like this. So, you know, the family bowl, I used to eat that when I was new to this whole raw deal. And so as you start to increase in cleansing the vessel, you increase in absorption and utilization of what you're consuming, which means less again becomes more. Less. We need less food. I'm gonna, you know, like I could see me in about 5 years from now as I continue to clean, I'll need about half of this, and I'll be good. And I won't like lose weight or anything. I'll be like good, be absorbing, utilizing more of that which I'm consuming. We want more. Now we go with the dressing. So the first thing I want to do is just acknowledge the blender. I mean, I love you. This is how I acknowledge the blender. Okay, so mwah. That's how we say hello to the blender. If you're not doing that, you're not going to get well. Okay, then, after this, we go with this guy. Okay, we'll pull this one off. This is the Vitamix. And part of doing the whole blender